You might have heard of sweet lamb because of this. And of course it gets its name from these, when it was one of the biggest sheep operations in the country, with its own sales twice a year. But you might not know it is also famous for this. Here's the man who has been bringing it on.
Yes, we've got 5,500 acres of ground which we're developing every year, and this year we have been on some of the new ground today, and next year we're developing a lot more again. No, we tend to not have so many beginners because they go home a little bit humbled, but yeah, we have people which I've sort of known for 20 odd years which tend to be the high bird shooters more than anything.
Today we are out with one of my favourite shooters, Ross Neville.
But
And whose benefit is that for?
my boy Winston.
Now you may have spotted Ross's plaster. That is a shooting injury. Ross was recently dove shooting in Bolivia, 550 doves in 2 hours 3 minutes with 2 5-shot autos. He was shooting so furiously the comb on one of the guns took a chunk out of his chin, and it made a mess of his shoulder. But then at one dove every 13 seconds for more than 2 hours, what do you expect? Yes, I have a calculator. This day at one of Wales's premier shoots is less concentrated than Bolivia, but still extraordinary, especially for high bird specialists like Ross. Hugo Hurd is today's power behind the throne. He travels with Ross for all his UK shooting.
Yeah, sweet lamb I've been to twice this season already, and I've been last year. Fantastic shoot. There is birds for everyone, but I would say the majority of people want to come for what we're calling extreme high birds these days, not to everybody's liking.
Come on, push!
Today is going as we hope. It's a perfect day. It's dry, and the wind is okay. A little bit of a funny wind for us here, but that's we're learning to deal with the winds.
I've shot it last year, and it is on par with Brigands, with Lake Whittigar, with Drumland Rig, with all the big high bird shoots. It's absolutely awesome. Fantastic. Hospitality's great, and the shooting is beyond great.
We've been done the dams this morning.
Good opener.
Looked a strange sort of topography to put pheasants off, but it did work. The wind's very strong today. The keepers have got their work cut out, but it was a lovely drive. Yeah, we're shooting a 6-gun line, so super partridge as well.
They're not extreme pheasants, but they're very missable, and they're very hittable as well, which I think is a really good opening drive to a high bird shoot.
And then we've done switchback. The second one was a tight valley with a lot of partridge in.
You know, we were at the end of the line, so we were sort of up, down, here, there and everywhere, and you make your shooting on the end of the line, especially you shouldn't have to do on a 6-gun line, but today has been a challenging day because of the wind, but you know, we still had a bloody good drive. It's great.
And then we've done the drim. The wind today is making them quite challenging as well.
Come on. Oh, partridge!
You know, I'd get on a few, and then bloody hell, there's no line to them. So, you know, that's why I love doing this, especially in Wales.
As you can see, we are losing Ross. His concentration is drifting away from the camera. You can see the kind of people we have to work with. I mean, call that professional.
It's strange, but that's Wales for you, and that's why, in my opinion, Wales is always going to be the most challenging shooting, just like it is about now, because it's so technical. Oh, here they come. Oh.
This is the 4th drive of the day, saddle, and it's a stonker. Ross and Hugo work like a demonic team to get onto these birds.
Oh.
Now you can see Ross is using his usual Creek-Off Parcours pair of shotguns, and you need a pair here. I have brought him a special treat, the new Browning Crown, to give it a try on one drive.
I could shoot those Brownings all day long. It's more than anything, with these bird days, reliability is the most important thing. And those Brownings, I mean, I grew up shooting Brownings. They were loved. The gun that I was shooting was awesome. So yeah, it's more reliability than anything, because you know, the pretty, very, very fancy guns, they're not going to be able to take this sort of shell volume. They're just not. So they're not going to be able to do what a Browning does. So yeah, I mean, I'd shoot those all day long.
The Browning Crown is a new arrival at UK gun shops. When Hugo Hurd is not accompanying, instructing and loading for Ross, he works at West Midlands Shooting Ground.
Well, I know a bit about it because we had a delivery at Hodnet, West Midlands Shooting Ground, of these 525 crowns. 12 bores, 20 bores, and today you've brought one along for Ross to have a go with. Today you bought the 12 bore. What I know about them is grade 6 timber, on a Marook action, very pretty, nice engraving, 30 inch, 32 inch, solid game rib, and they're coming with a fixed choke half and half in both gauges, which seems a sensible way to go. People don't want to be thinking about chokes and changing chokes. Half and half will do everything you need. I should think they're just trying to come in just under the EE/LL Beretta range. You know, the MK60 high pheasant, high partridge range are probably 1,200, 1,500 pound less. Pretty gun, grade 5, but does appeal more to the clay shooting type. They, I think, are pushing this to try and liven up the game shooters. We sold a couple of pairs of 12s, a couple of pairs and some singles of 20s. Went for a reorder, and we're having to wait till January. They're proving that popular.
I'm hearing pairs are very popular at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's like the I shoot the MK60 high partridge 20 bore, which is a beautiful little gun, but it is a miniature clay shooting gun to look at. And when I saw, Tom said to me, "Oi, come and have a look at what's come in here," and showed me the 525 crown in the 20-32 inch. It was a stunner, and I just held fire a little bit too long, and I'm going to have to wait now till January, February until I can order. But yeah, it's a great idea for game shooters to have a pair, and a pair for 9,000, grade 6, this quality and this pretty, makes a lot of sense. Okay, to some it doesn't make a lot of sense, it's too much money, but it's a good price for a great gun.
And look at that one! Yeah. Back to the shooting, and we have a lot to thank Liam Clarkson, head keeper at Sweet Lamb, who is not Welsh.
No, North Yorkshire. Yeah.
Is it true the best keepers come from Yorkshire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ross and even Anthony are staggered by the quality of the birds on that last drive.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, that drive. It just never lets us down ever.
Yeah, really.
And I thought this afternoon, right, we think we got them here this afternoon, so we thought we'd show them some proper pheasants and partridge.
And they were, just extreme monster pheasants and partridges that, no one in the country can consistently hit those, but if you hit one or two, awesome, and that's what we've come to do.
He's so pleased with himself, he's even showing off his war wound. The plaster's fallen off.
Yeah, Sweet Lamb.
The fifth one has.
For more about the Browning Crown, visit browning.eu, and to find out about shooting at Sweet Lamb, go to cambrianshoots.co.uk.